All right, hello everybody, Mr. Pash here, and this is going to be a little demo on how to create value scales with a pen using different types of mark making here. And what I'm going to have you guys do is do 6 different columns of different marks here, and for each column, you're going to do about 6 steps roughly of going dark to light. And so we're going to really congest our mark making for the dark, almost completely fill it. And as we get to the lighter one, we're going to loosen up our mark making there. Okay, so we're going to copy a lot of these. And I think for the last 2, I'm going to have you guys come up with your own type of marks. Using spirals or stars or whatever to create the same type of aspect here. Okay, I'm going to put in a handout that's empty. The terminology is a little bit different here. I usually do this for pencil, or you guys can work straight in your sketchbook. And what I would recommend is, if you want to, you could use a ruler, but just kind of map out 6 different columns here, about an inch high, about 4 or 5 inches wide. They don't have to be perfect. I got 5 here. One more down at the bottom. All right, and the first thing that we're gonna do is hatching, and hatching is just straight lines. Okay, and I'm not going to do the full ones just for time's sake here. Okay, so hatching, what we want to do is, for the darkest one, we're going to do parallel lines as close as we can and even overlap a little bit. We try to keep those lines pretty straight and parallel. Okay, just one fluid stroke here, and you can do like little squares. Okay, and you can even go back and overlap a little bit if it's not dark enough for you. And I'm using a gel pen. Okay, looks pretty good. And on the next one, I'm going to just change direction here. I'm going to go a little bit more open. Okay. This one. Okay. And then for the next one, a little bit more open than that. Okay, and so on until the end. I'm almost having just like 3 strokes there. Sorry, you guys didn't see that. 3 strokes just for the lightest one. Next one would be cross hatching. Just call it a little X and hatching. Okay, and cross hatching will take a little bit more time because you're actually going to start off with hatching here again. Okay, so take your time. Kind of get in the zone, be comfortable. You can't always rush this stuff. If you rush it, you're going to get frustrated. Okay. And then what you're going to do is go perpendicular opposite, and just as wide as you did the other one, do a cross hatch. So this is how illustrators back in the day, if they wanted to ever print anything that had like value in it, they had to do cross hatching, because they didn't have pictures. They actually had to etch this in the metal and print it that way. And that was the only way they can get sense of value and realism. Okay, let me go over it just a couple more times. So again, for the next one, I'm going to go a little bit looser. Okay, make sure I'm keeping my lines parallel. Make sure I'm pretty consistent on how far that's spaced. Okay, I'm going to put some examples online, which you guys will probably see on this page. Perpendicular. You can basically just copy what you guys see. Okay, really focus on a nice consistent line there. Okay, so those ones a little bit more difficult, okay, because it does take some time and concentration. Next one we're going to do is scribbles, and basically what you're going to do is scribble. So about 1 inch square here, and just kind of fill it in as much as you can. Okay, as dark as you can. And it doesn't have to be completely filled up and dark. But as you get over, you're going to go a little bit looser. Okay, kind of let it flow, and then a little bit looser, and more, all the way until it's like nothing, maybe just a couple marks or so. Okay, even go a little bit darker here. And so it should kind of look like it goes dark to light, which hopefully you guys see in this video. The next one, you guys are probably going to hate me for this one, but we'll go a little bit shorter. So not as long as this one, but we're going to do a stipple, okay? And I'm doing this because sometimes just doing dots will look really nice in our Zentangle designs, which we'll be doing later in the week. So just kind of do like little squares, you know, like if you have a pencil, just kind of like, let's only make it go about yay long. Kind of visualize different segments there. And what you're going to do is actually do dots. And it takes a long time. So it actually can be smaller than this if you guys want. We'll just kind of do a little one here. But really try to make it look like really dark to light. And there's an example on a handout with this one as well. But you'll see it'll go completely dark. We'll do kind of like little 1/2 inch squares all the way. And then as it gets lighter, of course, we're just loosening up the space here all the way to the end, which will be here, and just kind of like dot, dot, dot. So as it gets lighter, it gets a lot easier because you're not actually doing a lot of mark making here, but a lot of the work is doing those dark values here. Okay, so that's 4 of them. And the last 2, I want you guys to come up with your own version of mark making here. I'll just kind of show you some, you know, it can be any types of lines if you want to do some waves, you know, kind of like the hatching here. Okay, really close. And then of course those would kind of get a little bit looser as you go in. Maybe spirals or circles, really close together for the dark, really wide and loose for the light. You know, maybe it's just like little stars or something. Lots of different ways you can make marks and even designs if you wanted to. People get pretty clever, like I've seen waves, you know, going through just really close together, and then the waves get looser and looser. Lots of different ones, but again, for the last 2, I want you guys to come up with your own 2 marks on that. So just kind of show you a really clean version of what that could look like. Don't pay attention to these. This is for pencil, but these top 4 here is kind of what we're working on. And if you want to work on this handout, print it out and do it on the handout if you want. You guys can do that. I'll put that as an attachment on the website, or you can just kind of loosely do it in your sketchbook. Totally fine. All right, hope you guys have fun with that, and I guarantee that will help you guys out for our Zentangle drawings, so we can kind of create some dimension and some spaces of value that'll make our illustrations by the end of the week look really nice. All right, thank you guys.